Heck yeah. When you start doing YouTube videos, one of the first things that you learn is you don't talk about price, because the prices are always changing and you can put up a video that will be up forever. But in order to understand how important this machine is, and I'm telling you, this is going to be impacting the firewood processor market, the Timberwolf Pro LP. This is, what do you call it? Entry level? I don't like that term. But if I am getting into the firewood business, I am looking right at this machine, guys. This, as of October 2025, is under $30,000 with a conveyor, with an auto cycle, and the important thing is the log lift. What you learn with a processor is, there's all kinds of processors out there, and that's what makes our industry so great, is you can build a machine that goes right into a niche of the market. This is ideal for a person starting a firewood business, or a person that has a lot of trees that they want to process. A well-built machine, it is built like a tank, and I'll explain how it's proved that here in a couple seconds. But the important thing, if you are starting to get into the industry, you don't have a lot of money, you don't have a lot of machines, and the log lift becomes a big deal. And that's how I got my start. I looked for a processor that I could afford, and it had a log lift. I went for the Dyna 12. This was back in 2016 or 17. And then I traded that in on the Japa 365. Again, it had a log lift. It wasn't until I was able to put money back into my business that I would buy a machine, but you also have to buy that live deck, and they're pricey. And then if you have a live deck, you got to have another machine, a tractor with a grapple that can pick logs up, or if you're using big logs, you need a bigger machine. More expense, more machines. And if you were looking for simplicity, look for a processor with a log lift. And here you go, the Pro LP by Timberwolf. This has a gas engine on it. It's a Honda something 22 horse, I think. Don't hold me accountable for any numbers, guys. Click on the website and it'll give you all the details. And it took me a while to figure out how to run this. I felt like a drunk octopus with all these levers, but after a while I start to figure it out. It has a larger saw. This is the 404 pitch. So the clamp is not hydraulically controlled, but it has an air charge in it, so that the bigger the log comes in, it pushes up, it compresses and makes more downward force on it. The important thing for me is, with any processor, the adjustable knife. It's got to have an adjustable knife. And if Timberwolf is calling this a pro model, it's got the adjustable knife, it has the outfeed, and it has the auto cycle splitter. That's just one less lever you have to worry about when you're running this machine. This also comes with a 6-way, but I don't have it. The splitting power feels excellent. I mean, I'm splitting oak, and oak splits easy, and I'm using a 4-way. But you get a sense. I'm curious to see, though, how the 6-way goes. I hope I do get it someday. The hydraulic tank is the main spine of this machine. I think that's kind of cool. Just one less thing to get smashed when you're running one of these. This is a brand new machine that's being made by Timberwolf. They are taking orders. It has been very well received. But this is the only one in existence right now. This machine has been at all of the trade shows this spring and summer and fall. What had happened to it, it was getting unloaded off of a car hauler at a show, and the forklift operator dropped it, plopped it right on its side, and it bent the axle, which explains why you see the wheel is out of kilter with the fender. It smashed this upper and moved it in, which then threw this top clamp off, so the clamp isn't centered with the infeed. But that is because of the damage that this sustained. And then lastly, it broke the engine on how it fell. So this is not the correct engine for this machine. And you may have noticed that the exhaust is shooting the wrong way. And that's just because it's not the correct engine for this machine. Just full disclosure with that. So this is not mine. I do not work for Timberwolf. I am not receiving a commission. They asked if they could leave this here out of convenience instead of taking it back to upstate New York, and then they're coming back through to take it out west. I said, sure. They said, feel free to run it. So that's what I'm doing. I think I have run this enough to give you a more in-depth. I would give feedback to Timberwolf, but but the problem is all of the things that my brain are thinking about would probably add, it would add to the price. And I know what they were trying to accomplish with this, and I feel that they have done it. I like this machine. I do. It just worked out perfect too with all these oak logs. I got to get these ran and get these stacked. And this is a machine, and I am serious. I really do believe if you are looking for a machine like this for boiler wood, but with the 6-way, I think you're in good shape. Or if you're looking for that perfect machine to get started in the industry, I think you got to look at this. The price cannot be denied. I'm serious. Compare this to all the other comparable machines. This runs a 16-inch max, and on top of everything else, I think it looks great. It's light. You can pull this with a half-ton truck, no problems. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this. I'll try to get you some more videos with this. This is fun to run. I enjoyed it. Everyone have a great day.